How will Xbox do in 2026? I think that's kind of the question that is on everyone's mind following their 2025. They made some pretty big decisions last year, canceling long in development projects, layoffs, price increases left and right, pretty much getting rid of their exclusivity and games coming to PlayStation. I mean, Halo is coming to PS5 this year, which is wild to say, on top of Gears of War already making the jump. It's a whole lot. They had their 2026 developer direct today to talk and share about some of the things coming in 2026, which is also a marquee year for Xbox. It'll be 25 years of the brand this year. If anything, I feel like the direct was kind of an assurance that they are striving for a great year with great games on top of it. The games they showcased were Forza Horizon 6, which is now a staple of Xbox. That's also on PlayStation. Beast of Reincarnation, so they're supporting Game Freak's kind of switch up from Pokemon from their R&D B team. We had a detailed look at Fable, the long-awaited reboot of the RPG franchise, this time from Playground Games, the studio who also does the Forza Horizon games, so they're going to have quite a 2026, almost like what Obsidian was doing last year for Xbox. And interestingly enough, they're also supporting their studios in making the games that they themselves feel passionate about, that might be smaller in scale, and in this case, that's Kiln, a multiplayer pottery party game from Double Fine. That's a tongue twister. On top of that, we're supposed to be getting even more this year, including Gears of War E-Day and the Halo Campaign Evolved remake later in 2026. That makes it a pretty big year. But before we get to those games this year, let's talk about the developer direct and what I think are the highlights from it. I watched it and my audio messed up, so I apologize for that, but if anything, there were some highlights to point out from the showcase that I think are worthy to talk about. Forza Horizon 6, I'll be honest, I'm not a proper Forza fan, so I can't talk to how this new game is really looking. Side note, but to me, it feels like nowadays developers want to make their game, but in Japan, kind of like that one meme. I mean, Sucker Punch, Assassin's Creed, now Forza. I don't think it's a bad idea, I just wanted to throw it out there. But what I really want to put a pin in here is on the tech that is going into the game. The graphics look great, and the details immediately caught my eye, like seeing the reflection and the lighting bounce off the cars. As a passive fan of Forza, I can appreciate it along with all the accessibility features too. Something to also keep in mind here, which I thought was interesting, was at the top of the segment, the game design director stated the game was from Playground Games and from Turn 10. If you don't know, Turn 10 is the studio behind Forza Motorsport, but underwent mass layoffs last year and are virtually now a support studio for Forza Horizon. It was a minor statement, but to me, I was like, oh yeah, that's right, Turn 10 went through the ringer last year, but I'm glad that they can hopefully share the success for Forza Horizon 6. Moving on, we got our first real deep dive and look into Beast of Reincarnation from Game Freak. Yes, the same Game Freak behind the Pokemon games. And they made sure to remind you of that, which isn't really a knock at all from me. I just know that people have a lot of qualms with the recent Pokemon games, and they want to see Game Freak fail so that they can strive for betterness, if that's even a word. But one of the things I thought was interesting in the way in which they were bringing up is how Game Freak approaches creating stories with nature and animals, and how much that is at the forefront of not only Pokemon, but here in Beast of Reincarnation too. I will say the story seems kind of done and dusted before, or at least predictable, where you are a powerful outcast and only you have the power to stop the end of days, and you have to discover more about yourself and the evils of the world. But that combat system, to me, it's reading like it's taking cues from the Final Fantasy VII Remake system, where you can kind of pause during active combat and direct your wolf companion named Ku with skills and abilities. And in turn, there is a quick time event where you need to press the button at the right time to hit maximum efficiency. I know what you might be thinking, wow, that's Claire Obscure influence, but really this has been in games for a while now, so come on now, folks. Whatever, this comes across to me as very engaging with the parries, skill selection, and readable attacks to dodge and maneuver around. I can get behind what they're trying to put down. And hey, maybe this does kind of put the pressure on Game Freak to make more engaging games. And again, I'm not really knocking the Pokemon games. I mean, they sell like millions of copies. How can you really knock them? But maybe this will push them to continuously try new things. I miss when Pokemon was really trying to do new things. I mean, the biggest innovation to me was when we got doubles battles. That was insane. Then again, I was also like 8 years old, but the point remains. And hey, you know what? Maybe someone will make a mod to make the enemies like Pokemon too. Not like straight rips like Pal World. I'm talking like maybe they will take a Pokemon and make it look like it belongs in the world, and then thus you're kind of fighting decrepit Pokemon. That sounds kind of cool. On to the next one. I want to say that every one of these directs have had a secret game be attached to them. Last year it was Ninja Gaiden Black 2, and then Hi-Fi Rush was also one of these games revealed at a previous one. I don't think it's always been the case, but I think that now there is kind of a consensus that there will be a hidden game also announced here. And this year's was wildly unexpected. It's called Kiln. It's a multiplayer party pottery game from Double Fine, which one is a tongue twister, and I'll also say two things about real quick. One, kind of like Forza, the technology and systems they developed for the clay pot specters you can create is incredibly interesting. I don't know if there are actually any other pottery games out there, but if this is the first one, that's pretty dang cool that they are kind of pioneering that path. I know it might not appeal to everyone, not everyone's really into pottery, I'm not into pottery myself, but I think what they're trying to do is that they're striving for something new, and that is admirable. And two, I do like that Xbox is supporting their studios in making these smaller scale passion projects, even if they are completely out of nowhere. It's not like Double Fine has to keep making Psychonauts again and again and again, but if they did, I wouldn't be upset. In fact, I do encourage it. Is this game for me? I don't know. It almost has this like MOBA-esque look to the gameplay, and I'm not really into pottery myself, like I was saying before, but the team is confident in it, and I don't know, it's just refreshing to see something completely out of left field. And finally, and I mean finally, we got a gameplay deep dive on Fable. Yes, it's been a minute and a half since the game was announced, and we never really got full-on gameplay in the same way it was presented here. Call me a believer, sure, but I do really love Fable 1, and this is hitting all the boxes for me. If anything, I actually do think I'm going to go back and replay the original to see how that holds up, but to also reinvigorate my love for the game. But it's nice to see that at least the wait for the game, as long as it has been, really hasn't been for nothing. There's the open world, which, at least referencing Fable 1, that's completely new, and what they've been showing of Albion looks to be very interesting and inviting to me to just kind of hop on a horse and explore. They have these robust NPC systems, which I know mean a lot to Fable fans. I mean, you could just do so much with the NPCs in those games, but also you could just hear them scream chicken chaser at you, which I am really looking forward to. But I think that interactivity really goes to show that they have been really hard at work in making this game feel really engaging, no matter if you're going to be going hard on the combat or if you're going to be buying up all of the houses across Albion and owning all of the shops and becoming a landlord, which if you want to be a landlord in a game, I guess that's cool, but if you want to be a landlord in Fable, that's weird, maybe? But everything here looks great. The lighting looks spectacular. The combat looks but maybe they're just kind of giving you a tease, or at least not really showing all the possibilities out there and waiting for you to get your hands on the game and see what you can actually do with all the combat options. I don't know, man, maybe it's just me. I was kind of a doubter in Fable if it was even going to release at all, let alone this year. But this was enough to kind of push me in the right direction to at least be definitely excited for it. I mean, I'm picking this up 100%. You can't stop me. And yes, that is a lot of love from Fable 1 coming through in that kind of thought process. So I do think, yes, I will be going back and playing Fable 1 again. All that is to say, though, this is a decent showcase of what Xbox is up to, at least right now, but that is really only half the battle, right? You can have great looking games, but you gotta follow that up with good services, good communication, and more games. That's 4 titles for the year, so we're not even filling out the calendar now. Granted, we know games like Halo and Gears of War E-Day are still on the horizon, but since those are bigger ticket items, I actually think we won't get release dates for them in a minute. They might even get delayed out of 2026 due to GTA 6, which I feel like every publisher is going to be trying to avoid for the best chance of success for their own games. And I think Xbox usually excels in their presentations themselves, and I actually think these developer directs can be effective at allowing game developers to talk about their philosophy and showcase a game's features. So where does that leave us with Xbox? For me, will I get Game Pass again to play these games on day one? No, probably not, but I am keeping an eye out on these games, and heck, I'm definitely playing the Halo remake because that first campaign just absolutely rips. They've got a long way to go to reclaim some of that positive sentiment they've been missing these past few years, but I do think that these kinds of showcases are a good sign that they still have a lot of faith in game developers and the studios that they own. or work with. But who knows, man, there's a chance. Maybe Fable gets delayed, which would be insane. Maybe Beasts of Reincarnation falls flat. I know that Pokemon haters are waiting for that. If anything, I think the only real guaranteed good thing here is Forza Horizon 6, because I know those fans really love those games, and I'm happy for them. But hey, that's just me. Let's see how the rest of the year shakes out. I just wanted to talk about something, so thanks for listening, and if you want to hear me talk about something else in gaming, let me know. Okay, thanks for watching. I will see you later. Bye.